So let's just continue with that. Wearing masks has this sort of duality that we just spoke. And I wish I have some sort of paper so you could understand. So basically, we are talking about at this level. Let's say we have three levels. We are initiating the discussion here, or the debates, and all of that. And then the more we debate, and scientific proofs is just another layer underneath. It's like, okay, let's discuss it, let's analyze it, let's see what the studies say, and all of this. Now, the lower layer is like not directly necessarily um, part of these two other layers, but it comes into the sense of how do I apply these two into everybody else, because this has come as a potential solution for everyone. So what I'm trying to say is like, okay, why wearing masks? That's majority of our questions. And so we start from the debate and then seeking evidence, scientific knowledge, and give you a sense of, okay, a guideline. Ultimately, you should be the one deciding. It's the same as your doctor. He has the guideline, you are the one deciding. It's always, always like this. At least since the time that doctors have become the new age sort of therapy. And even with other therapies, has always been like this. With everything else, has always been like this. Now, why do we wear the masks? Why should I be wearing a mask? Just because of those guidelines, or because you want to enforce them onto me? Should I not decide this, or should I decide this? So, as I was saying, I had to stop here for a moment, but I'm back. So, we have these discussions first. Why we are wearing a mask, it generates these two topics, the discussions and then the scientific proof to give us some sort of guideline. Now, how we are going to apply this outside, majority of people, why should people wear it, when should they wear it, and what does it do, what's the benefit, etc. So those come from the guidelines, okay? Now, when it comes to the sense of each one deciding, okay, you have the guidelines, you no longer have the opinion, but I mean, you still have an opinion and you consult the guidelines. That's how it works. But now, why should you have the obligation to wear a mask in public or every time just because of this sort of P word out there? Now, we have to do a different sort of question. It's the same as in personal development. We go deeper into this topic. The topic here is about why would I be wearing a mask? Why am I defending these guidelines? That's the question. Okay, so because I have this opinion and because I have decided these guidelines, it should be like that, right? Yeah, so it should be like that. Well, at least it could be like that. But because the narrative implicates the fact that we need to take care of the others externally to myself, we come to think that, oh, I will need to use this because I don't want to harm. It's like the narrative is inputting you not just a fear of getting the C word, but actually contaminating others. So it's putting you the pressure of responsibility. And normally, in this train of thought, it generates a guilty factor, a hidden guilty factor, not just fear. Well, it's the fear accentuated, correct? Because one is the fear of catching it and the fear of spreading it. Right, but we never consider the fact that when we have a cold, when we have, I don't know, whatever respiratory disease, we don't wear a mask. And it's been out there. Nobody considered wearing them because it's like, no, I'm not gonna be wearing a mask, especially if I'm snotting all over the place. Of course not. But taking Asia as an example, they do it. And there's nothing wrong. They take out the mask, they blow up their nose, and they put the mask again. No issue there. It's been part of their culture for a while now. So, coming again, let's break this down, psychologically talking. So, I'm wearing a mask because I have been receiving opinions that because of the C word, it feels that it's been spread in such and such way. And so the guidelines are that it helps. But there was so many debates. Even though masks have been already debated and scientifically proven this is not a long-term solution for anybody to be breathing through them, and no matter what you come up with, there is no frenetic solution at hand, and you keep asking yourself inside of yourself, like, so what the heck should we do? Is there a solution? That's basically in deep down our voice that is not being heard, like, so I'm freaking out. You're telling me these things and I'm not able to wear anything, so I need to do something. People want to avoid their own inner fears by not screaming this sort of social fear in this way, but in another way, they scream out to you the guidelines. They forget everything else, the opinions that they have, because the opinions will be subject to the guidelines. Oh, you should, you should wear them because it will avoid spreading. Okay, calm down a little bit. For everything, just calm down a little bit. When you do accounting, you need to calm down a little bit. You're not going to be all over nervous and sorting out things on top of your knee. That's not how it works. So, second part, or third part actually.